Welcome everybody to the Join the League season number 4. Yes, that season is still ongoing, but for the European division at the release, we are down to the, well, more or less two last best of threes. Whoever will win this one, xGame or basically unknown, they will go and face Balkan Bears to find out who actually gets up to the Division 1 from the lower bracket. But this particular series, a best of 3, man, should be an exciting one. If we take a quick look at the just bets at the moment, we do see xGame, they are the underdogs here, coming in like 39%, at least for what eBattle says in the percentages. So basically unknown, they are the favorites coming into this, and to be honest, I myself would also favor them. But Mike Loris, man, my co-caster, do feel the same way?
I mean, the X game, they've been playing with the skeleton crew for a pretty long time, but having a Rise also stand in, that's a pretty substantial leap in power. And basically unknown, they're a pretty good team. I'm not going to say that they're not, but X game, they have been doing really well with kind of just ragtag bunch of players. Having a Rise will certainly help. So I think the odds are probably a little bit more towards X game than some betting sites would suggest, but yeah, it should be a very even game. I would say basically unknown still slightly favored, but not by that much.
I still think like about 60-40 is maybe more or less even. Maybe it's more like 45-55, something like that. But of course, it probably varies from betting site to other betting sites. But coming into this game, X game, once again, if you give them the opportunity, they will go for the IO. They definitely like that hero and have had some pretty great success with it in the recent past. But basically unknown, going for the age-old combination of the Faceless Void Skyraf Mage.
Yeah, it looks like they're not going to respect the IO too much. And X game going to grab an axe as their second. Now, sometimes they just instantly snap up that tiny, and then they're just happy with that. Seems like for this game, they're going to either pair up the axe with the IO, which is a little bit more unlikely, or they're going to wait on their IO partner until a little bit later. When you do run an axe IO, then it acts very differently than any other IO partner. You're pretty much just turning on the gas to full, and you're going to try to end the game as soon as possible.
I mean, X game, they definitely do love the aggression, but we'll see if they're going to be able to get the early laning start. Well, yesterday, for example, it was X game. Yes, it was. They got a 9-minute victory up against Little Busters Forever. Arguably, just not that strong of a team to begin with, but definitely not a pushover as well as we saw from the group stages of the Bryden League. So, coming into this X game, at least for the recent days, they've been looking good, especially with the IO there. Unfortunately, no Juggernaut for them to handle, but what late game kind of hero do you think they're going to go for, if any at all, or do they really go for just early aggression, maybe some push mixed up with that, and try to end this game before really Faceless Void's Chronosphere become a huge issue, or...
Man, it's gonna be hard. Like, they had probably the two premier picks with the IO banned out from them. Tiny is the best. You can't want a better hero versus Faceless Void just because of how good Craggy is, even in that Chronosphere. So that's out of the pool. Phantom Assassin out of the pool. Obviously, good partner with the IO as well. We could see some like older combinations, like the Gyrocopter, which still can get the job done. Although X Game will probably be unlikely or unwilling to do that. I have a feeling this IO is just going to be an IO. There's going to be no substantial partnership in this game, and then X Game could just try to get to the late game with something like a Mantis Naga or something like that. Or, maybe not exactly that. Sand King is pretty tight counter to that, but, something along those lines is basically unknown. It seems like they're going to be playing a very balanced strategy. They got the Scarith Mage, Faceless Void, Chronosphere combo, as you said before, and then adding a Sand King on top of that, you can never say no to more crowd control.
Yeah, and it's also just extra initiation is always going to be nice. Otherwise, if you only have to rely on one hero, it might be a little bit weak. But now, even a Queen of Pain picked up, so basically unknown, they can blow people up with ease, to be honest. And although the Sonic Wave, I guess, doesn't care too much about the Ancient Seal being on the target these days, it's still nice to have that extra burst of just pure damage coming out. But X Game, going for a Magnus now. So if they get the nice Berserker's Call, or maybe a nice Reverse Polarity, the other one can easily follow up there. But what kind of hero will they actually pick up now to make great use of the Empower? Is it even going to be a melee hero, since Tiny and the Phantom Assassin, both the more popular ones, have been already banned?
And if it is going to be melee hero, then it's going to be the heroes that are good with Magnus and good with IO are pretty slim, and the two
Slark,
that
maybe?
are that would be pretty good actually. The basically unknown side do have many answers to the Slark though. You don't really want to pick a Slark into all of these crowd control effects. Like, it's just a little bit too much burst. This is also like an Arise mag, so you don't actually have to just get full value out of the Empower. He's going to be doing a hell of a lot in this game. I'm pretty sure that's that's just a given. xGame though, yeah, I mean Slark seems okay, but I'm still on board with something like the Medusa train or the gyrocopter train or one of those heroes that are maybe ranged so you don't get the cleave value, but you could still get a lot of value out of that extra damage from the empower.
Yeah, I think probably the better kind of heroes. Just Medusa, first of all, you can survive the Chronosphere even potentially, even with the Mystic Flare raining on top of you, just because Mana Shield can be that strong if you have enough mana. So if you already have like an Eye of Skadi, you should be fine. At least that's when basically Unknown won't just pop everything at you. Even the Mana Shield won't save you from that, I believe. Now though,
Oh,
basically
dude,
Unknown
is this,
themselves,
is this a CK game? Is this a CK game for X game?
I would hope so, but I mean, I've been let down so often in the past. I don't even dare hope for it anymore.
Dude, you have to keep hope alive. This seems like the best one. Like I don't think I've seen a better CK game than this. They have the IO and Magnus and Power on CK is pretty ridiculous. So that's what I'm hoping for X game. But yeah, you were gonna say something about basically unknown.
No idea. Oh yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
sorry.
they themselves need a core hero still to finish the lineup. Of course, they can run the Faceless Void in the safe lane and pick up an offlaner now. A tiny chance that there's going to be a Queen of Pain offlane, or do they go for a safe lane core? Do they go for like a Puck offlane, or I mean, I guess they themselves, if they really wanted to, would go for a Medusa, a hero that can survive the Lion's Finger of Death, for example, or just access Berserker's Call, something like that. Is there a hero that you would just like to see in their lineup?
Nothing really screams out right now. The power of Sand King Scarth Mage as an offensive tri lane is certainly there, and maybe basically Unknown want to take advantage of the fact that Io is a very weak laner, trying to go for something offensive, leaving the Faceless Void down towards bottom. The problem is there that you have a trade-off where Faceless Void is most likely going to be running into either Axe or Magnus, and that is not really going to be the best of times for Faceless Void. So the question is for Basically Unknown, do they want to trade their Faceless Void farm for aggressive potential? And it looks like the answer is going to be yes. Gyrocopter is going to be the pick from them, acting as another pseudo ban towards X game. This offensive tri lane is not the most dangerous because there's still like I'd rather have like Eventual Spirit Scarth Mage Gyrocopter, but this could certainly get a lot of kills on the X game side. The level 1 Rocket Barrage is just going to be backbreaking, not to mention the damage that Homing Missile does.
And also, it's just if the axe runs at you, or even if the axe blinks in and wants to get the Berserker's Call, if the Gyrocopter manages to activate the Rocket Barrage first, at least it's going to be able to get some counter damage in. Or actually, probably quite a lot, depending on how many points it does have into that. But Wraith King will be the last pickup for X game. I mean, might be struggling a little bit with just Queen of Pain blinking away, but then again, they have quite a lot of lockdown. I mean, 4 of their heroes pretty much have stuns or some kind of just disable, preventing Queen of Pain, for example, to blink out. So in that sense, it's nice to have Wraith King, additional stuns and whatnot, but I've just seen so many Wraith Kings not just perform in the later stages of the game, but we'll see how X-Game will run it. At least with the Empower, he's going to hit even harder than he normally does.
Yeah, you have Empower, you have Overcharge, you have Axe Calls that are going to be covering you. In X game, they are a little bit melee heavy, and in that sense, maybe they're going to be struggling up against the Chronospheres and up against the Sand King play of fucking Mad, not to mention the Queen of Pain as well, who takes advantage of melee heroes like none other. But I have also been kind of underwhelmed with Wraith King's performances, but man, you have so much to back you up. The Empower in and of itself is going to mean that Wraith King is going to farm that much faster, and Mantis is already a pretty decent farmer, so his ability to get to the late game and stay there is going to be, pretty secured. I'm just a little bit disappointed since Wraith King and Chaos Knight, they behave rather similarly, and come on, you gotta add some flair to your team. And Wraith King's honestly kind of boring when you compare him to this Chaos Knight.
Oh, it's definitely boring, but well, Wraith King, why he I think was so popular in the past as well is, especially up against Faceless Void, for example. If the Faceless Void comes in with a Chrono, doesn't matter what stage of the game it is. If you can focus down a core hero within the Chrono, you're just going to be in such a great position in a fight. But Wraith King, he does have the ability to come back to life at least once, and Basically Unknown, they really don't have any heroes to go for like Necrobooks. Queen of Pain might, or well, I guess any hero can go for a Necrobook, but I highly doubt it's going to happen this game, so Mantis shouldn't really be afraid of losing his mana to not have enough for a Reincarnation. So Reincarnation, I think, is probably one of the key factors they picked that hero for, but still, like you said, CK would have been so much more fun to see.
Yeah, and not only that, they also have the IO who could always jump Mantis out of the fight. Even if he does lose his reincarnation, it's unlikely that Bignum is, or it's possible that Bignum is going to be locked down in the Chronosphere and he'll die first. But as long as Bignum plays his spacing correctly, then giving Mantis an effective third HP pool full of life with a relocate back to the fountain is going to be pretty difficult for Unknown to deal with. They have the Faceless Void though, and that's probably the best counter you can ask for as far as late game status is concerned. But the Faceless Void's going off lane, and that might not actually be a real counter. We might see a level 1 Rumble in the jungle right now. Stallcat's going to spot Paris, and Paris is going to see Stallcat. It's not really a fight that either side will be happy to take. However, Bignum's going to tether up Stallcat. Mantis coming around from the side, looking for that Wraithfire Blast. Out of range, however. Boots first on Paris. Going to keep him very, very safe. But just going to go over who's going to be playing on the Unknown side. We got Paris playing that Gyrocopter Mind Control. He's going to be handling the Queen of Pain. Fucking Mad is on the Sand King. Magoma on the Skywrath Mage. And then up towards the top lane, Bambo is going to be playing that Faceless Void.
As for xGame, Reeves playing the Lion with Jason, who is actually a Rise in disguise on the Magnus, leaving Stallcat on the Axe, with Mantis of course playing the Wraith King. Well, the positive is that he has played the Wraith King, God, I think more than maybe any other carry player to be honest, because xGame, that was their just main core hero. But last one will be Bignum, the stand-in for so many teams these days, but definitely a great player and already has his bottle thanks to the Bounty Rune.
Yeah, so that's going to be incredibly nice for xGame's top lane. It's not really going to be the hugest bottle pickup in the world, just because Bambo can actually do nothing versus this lane. Like, he will be zoned out by just an IO and occasionally by the Lion as well. So fast bottle is not going to matter too much. But still, it seems like xGame, they're first of all going to be wrapping around trying to go for mind control. That's not going to happen unless there's level 2 on Mag. No, it's still level 1, so no skewer. But they actually have abandoned the bottom lane entirely. Axe is not going to have to deal with Paris at all, and this is actually a pretty reasonable decision, I think. The power of Gyrocopter's Rocket Barrage is just so huge, and even though Gyrocopter does have, you know, low range, low damage, Axe can put him in a blender with that counter helix if he gets close enough. The boots first and Gyrocopter means that this bottom lane just isn't available for xGame.
Well, thank God they did pick or choose an offlaner that can go into the jungle if need be. It's always nice to have that kind of security measure if it really comes down to that. And Axe is a really fast jungler, already has a double stack to work with here as well. So already level 2, gonna hit that level 3 soon enough as well. Get some pretty nice counter helix procs, as is to be expected from such a camp. And another time walk in the meantime, forced out by Sexy Memo, who won't even have enough mana for some time for the secondary one. So if he gets caught by a Hex, although then again Reeves started with Burst Spike, if he gets caught by a stun though, he might be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, the IO is going to be the weak link here up on the top lane, but the other laner is just has no power in this lane whatsoever, so IO can get to pulling and pretty much do nothing but that. The problem being, of course, their pull is blocked, so that's actually going to be a pretty effective ward for Base Unknown that xGame are going to be hurt quite a bit by. Bignum, whenever you're an IO player, you pretty much live and die by the pulls, just because you can't really do that much pressuring in lane. So without that extra source of income, Bignum's going to be really, really sad. And together with the Lion, he can do a little bit, but not with a level 1 Lion. Needs to be like level 3 at least.
Yeah, it's a little bit sad. I mean, Lion, if he had a Hex, maybe it would be a little bit better than the Earth Spike early on. But they're getting something. They're getting a side pull going at least. Or never mind, it was Sexy Mabo himself, I do believe, getting the side pull through. So getting some nice XP, level 3 plus now from this. Axe, of course, already level 4, gonna have his Tranquil Boots finished up, which will speed up his process of jungling quite a bit. And now we have sentries coming out as well for Reeves, I believe. Yes, Reeves purchased the sentries, so they're gonna get rid of this Observer Ward, I think. Unless they completely just misguess the position of it.
It's like impossible to miss the D ward on this camp, so they'll get rid of that. You have the Bride and League image up, so if you
man,
get rid of that.
It's been taken away so long ago already.
Dude, I did that also, and I completely forgot until the end of the game. But Bambo up towards top lane. Gonna try to jump towards Mantis. Damage from Magoma pretty high, but not really enough with the heal from Bignum. That's gonna be first blood because they tried to take on an IO. That's not a good idea with just a Faceless Void. Spike towards Magoma after a Hex. It's gonna disengage for Reeves, but Unknown, that's a level 3 Void going up against 4 levels worth of hero on Mantis and Bignum. Bottling with that tether, man. Like, you gotta respect that, and that just wasn't the play that Unknown could have been making.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, I guess going for the IO maybe was out of the question for them there, but just not a good thing to go for a Wraith King when the IO is close by like that. And that second point into overcharge and going for spirits is what saved the Wraith King. Otherwise, Bignum would have been on full HP, full mana, wouldn't have gotten anything into the Wraith King, but saving the Wraith King, getting first blood, I do believe he himself threw it, yes he did. I have to say that I think they could have gone for the Skyrock Mage also, I mean, with the Lion rotating in. But now another stun onto Sexy Mambo. He will of course have the time walk, but even forcing that out is a win in itself. He does have plenty of mana to do like 3 more time walks, maybe even the 4th one with the magic sticks. But still, just when the time walk is on cooldown, Sexy Mambo will have to be a little bit more careful.
And not only that, Mantis also gets to take control of the pull that Bambo was executing. So Bambo a little bit less experience there and a little bit more experience for Mantis, just getting general pull benefits when the enemy side is not going to have. Stallcat in the meantime is going to run into Magoma. Level 1 call is there, plus a skewer from Arise. Magoma is in so much trouble right now. Will die to the Battle Hunger. Blink forward from Mind Control. Level 2 Screaming Pain, not going to do too much. Fucking Mad, kind of in the area with Boots first. He does have a Burrow Strike that he can land if he really wants to go for it, but he's not going to. Queen of Pain, only level 5 at this stage. He's not able to put that much heat towards someone like an Axe, so it's going to be the second death for basically Unknown, and it's going to be Scarth Mage to fall.
Yeah, not that big of a deal, but even so, xGame off to a pretty good start. I mean, Axe at the moment, his leveling has been slowed down by a tiny bit just because he did go for the bottom side of the map, not just jungling up fully. But even then, doing slightly better than the Faceless Void so far. But not by a hell of a lot, and of course Gyrocopter, he's been free farming the entirety of this time. Up to 31 last hits, which is, well, 11 more than the Wraith King has on his own lane. So that's something going for them. Queen of Pain also getting decent levels. It's not like a Magnus can really endanger Queen of Pain all that much without anybody rotating in. So even though they have given away 2 kills and the Axe is just farming reasonably well in the jungle. Oh, never mind, they jump Sexy Bambo, the Hex starts things up, Brave Fire Blast to follow, Earth Spike will be there. And that lockdown is just enough, or is it? Nope, never mind. Magic Sticks to the rescue. A couple of backtrack procs probably there as well, but man, I was so sure he's gonna die.
Maybe in a slightly different world he would have, but having a Stout Shield and a level 1 backtrack, sometimes you're just going to survive out of nowhere if you're Faceless Void, and that's just one of those times for Bambo. The problem is that he's standing up on this top lane, and he actually can't stay up here because if he gets hit with anything, he'll die. So he's going to try to leech his experience from the top lane, and he will be successful looking for that level 6 mark. He has gone for level 3 time lock, so it is possible that a Chronosphere is going to get him a kill on one of the softer heroes like Lion or the Io once he hits level 6, but man, he's just not having a good time. Fortunately for Unknown, everyone else on their team they kind of are, but over towards mid lane, there is an RP on Magnus, and he's going to kind of blow this gank, going a little bit too aggressive on Mind Control, a little bit too fast.
Well, Mind Control, if the rune had not spawned, he may well have stuck around there, maybe thought that there's going to be like a reverse priority skewer under the tier 1 to hope to get the kill, but smoke expires, they get the Hex anyway, fucking mad. He's in a lot of trouble. Skewer comes out, Berserker's Call and reverse priority at the same time. One more smack, but there's the cooldown, it's going to hit 2 I believe, yes! At least with the first bounce Reeves, he's going to just get chased down by Mind Control. Jason, not going to TP out the Rise, taken down by that Sonic Wave. Stallcat, the only one to survive, and all they got for it was a Sand King.
And you never see Flak Cannon be that useful this early on, but Lion just got torn apart by that, which because of that Flak Cannon flying, Mind Control didn't have to focus that line, therefore Sonic Wave could be used to kill off someone else. And things were a little bit different for Unknown. If their Queen of Pain was a little bit more on the high ground, potentially could have gotten that Axe kill as well, but still trading away an RP, trading away your Sand King for all of those kills onto 2 heroes that are going to need the farm a little bit more, especially that Queen of Pain is so worth it for Unknown. And even though it's kind of inconvenient to slow down your Sand King's Blink Dagger, he's pretty much guaranteed that Blink Dagger in this game because xGame are making absolutely no plays to go for him in the jungle. I mean, he kind of just wandered into his own death there, so the Sand King should be fine to get his Blink Dagger. It won't be the fastest, but once that comes up, it should about be mirrored by Stallcat. So Blink Dagger is on either side, and then it's just going to come down to execution to see who gets more out of it.
It's definitely going to come down to that exactly, but the thing is that Unknown, they're going to have the backup of a Queen of Pain blinking in, so he can actually match the speed and mobility of the Sand King to just go for like a double initiation of sorts. They don't though have a Mystic Flare quite yet. Magoma is pulling through a little bit, so he's going to get some XP, and maybe by the time Sand King reaches his Blink Dagger, there's going to be a Mystic Flare. So if that's the case, setting up kills will be so easy. Even an Axe who is fairly tanky, he's still going to die to the Burrow Strike Mystic Flare combination, more likely than not. So I think Unknown, if they get the blinks at the same time, it might still slightly favor their side.
Yeah, they do have a lot of heroes that can reinforce, like not only the Queen of Pain that you mentioned, but also that Faceless Void, who, by the way, up towards top is in quite a bit of trouble. Call after stun, and Bambo's going to take all the Wisp Balls to the face. That's going to be his death. Here comes Mind Control. Going to try to go for Stallcat, but that Calling Blade movement speed going to make it near impossible. Concussive Shot will be thrown, will do nothing. There's not that much you could do there as Faceless Void, except for cross your fingers for 10% chances. But, going to be brought down yet again. He already has that level 6, though. He has boots. He's ready to do something for his team. But I think at this point, he's just not going to be a really heavy late-game hero, as offlane voids typically don't ever get to that stage.
Yeah, it's a little bit sad as well. It just kind of hinders your own late-game potential, to be honest, because that hero, I mean, as nice as the Chronosphere is, you would want to be able to solo kill somebody with it, if necessary, but... Usually if it's the offlane just faces void who cannot really do that at all, man, his damage will be lackluster unless he does go for like a Hand of Midas or somehow get some massive farm with some kills and maybe Unknown being able to push down a couple of towers. The one thing that both sides though are kind of lacking is just building damage.
Yeah, but like this game for Faceless Void, there's so much synergy within the basically Unknown side that even if he doesn't get to that late game stage where he's doing a whole bunch of damage and he's solo killing people with the Chronosphere, a Chronosphere on 2 is going to result into Epicenters, it's going to result in the Calldowns and Sonic Waves and Mystic Flares. That is so much more synergy with the Chronosphere than we ordinarily see nowadays that Bambo could even just like get an Aghanim Scepter and then just be a walking Chronosphere. It's not exactly the most ideal way to play the hero, but with the amount of synergy that there is on the field for himself, there's just so much power in that Chronosphere that he can't afford to go for that and go for a very damage light build. And then maybe from there go for some damage, but he does have just so much power through his allies. And for xGame, they are going to have to deal with that just through pretty much Bignum. He's the hardest counter to that. You just yank one of your allies out of that Chronosphere.
Yeah, and well, for xGame all in all, do they even like try to focus a Faceless Void if they can find him somehow and try to burst him down? I mean, they definitely have enough lockdown to deal with this Faceless Void. So if you remove the Chronosphere, that's a huge threat suddenly gone off the map, but then again, if you focus too much, you're just gonna leave the Sand King to come in with an easy epicenter, maybe a call down to catch you all off guard. Unknown, definitely, they have a pretty scary lineup to go up against if you're just speaking team fights. But xGame, they should be like probably focusing more on just getting pickups with the Lion, who still not level 6, but really damn close to it.
Once he gets level 6, then the kill potential of xGame skyrockets. Once Magnus hits just a little bit more gold, he'll have a Blink Dagger of his own, and then yet another jump of power for xGame. They already do have an Axe with a Blink Dagger, and I believe this is so far unspotted by Unknown, so Axe still has quite a deadly tool. Invis Rune from Arise is going to blow the smoke of fucking mad, and this is going to spot out the Sand King's Blink Dagger, actually, so that's like some pretty serious value coming out from the mag. He does not know that the Faceless Void is also smoked up, but this mag just sticking on to the Sand King. Is he actually going to make a play here? He has a lot of damage, but I don't think there's enough damage, especially with Faceless Void right around the corner. Oh, he's thinking about it.
If you can skewer fucking Mad closer to the Lion, but relocate, there's the reverse polarity. Well, maybe a little bit too long. Oh, the Chronosphere catches free Lion. Is gonna come in, but maybe a little bit too late. No Mystic Flare though. Cooldown will catch too, thanks to the Burrow Strike. Stalcat still alive, skewered out. Fucking Mad gets the epicenter off though. 2 easy kills. Sonic Wave even spent, although I think they would have counted the kills nonetheless. Bignum also escapes with 12 HP. Well, that was a fail gank from xGame, what can I say?
Dude, Admiral Akbar in full effect right now. That was as much of a trap as it could possibly be. Sand King, he knew exactly that someone was there, and Bambo, perfectly out of range, yet perfectly in range to get in there with just a level 2 Time Walk, catching through the Chronosphere, which allowed the Sand King to, after that happened, follow up with the call down, as well as that epicenter. xGame just got completely blindsided by a perfectly executed trap from Unknown, and they're going to take that one home. But up towards top, Bambo, he's going to get punished for his good play, and he will take a dive up towards the top lane. Reeves this time being a part of that, and also now has a Finger of Death. So though it was a good team fight for basically Unknown, they're still doing pretty well. They still have to worry about these blinkers, and the blinkers are over in the mid lane. Mag did go down though, so his blink dagger's a little bit further away, but Axe, he's not going to make a dive in. There's actually no one here anymore, so no kills in the mid lane yet.
Yeah, Axe, it's just usually when you get the blink there, you're actively looking for kills. Yet at the moment, since he did fail the first time around and he was trying to go for something more, he's not farming at the same time, so he's not getting any tankier either. So it might become a huge issue for them. Then again, next game, they're gonna force it here. 1 tower Mantis. Does he really want to stay around? Earthspike does catch Sexy Membo, but Mind Control will come in. No Sonic Wave with Sexy Membo. Oh god, Finger of Death, too strong. Bignum a little bit too late with the relocate, but Reeves, he's gonna lose his life. Most likely, so will the Io and Brave King. He didn't have enough mana for that ultimate.
Yep, Necro Book on the Queen of Pain. It's such an old build. Now Bignum gonna return back and he's going to get annihilated. But you mentioned before, Queen of Pain is probably the only hero on Unknown who really would like to get Necro Book and won't really be held up too much by that. And we just saw the value right there. Wraith King up blindside, he got Mana Burned, got the feedback or Mana Break, whatever it's called. It's Mana Break on the Necro Warrior. Mind Control busting out a build from a couple years ago, and I mean, it's not really the build that we see nowadays. Usually you go for a little bit more of a battle build for Queen of Pain, but it's still just such an amazing build, especially versus a Wraith King, that it's already pretty much paid for itself. Up towards top, the push is going to be stopped. Mantis and Stallcat both here. However, there is a Magoma Scarith Mage who decides to go behind the tower all by himself. Probably not a good idea, and he's going to get decapitated because of it. Their ability to fight under the tower is kind of there because they have a lot of mobility, but that just wasn't a good idea.
He even knew the axe is around as well, and they were pinging around or on the axe, probably wanted to initiate themselves, having the Mystic Flare. I don't think he's been able to use his own a single time yet, so maybe getting a little bit too antsy there, but just running into the axe like that alone, huge mistake and pays for it. But not a massive loss or anything like that, but if you look at the graphs, about 15 minutes into the game, it is only a 1k network lead for Unknown. XP wise 4k, so a little bit better, and mid lane Jason, he's gonna get stunned up. There's gonna be a Mystic there to follow Sonic Wave, even catches 2, and Reeves will get slowed by the concussive shot. Fucking Mad might try to blink Burrow Strike, well never mind, Mind Control, he's gonna catch the kill himself, but there's the Berserker Skull, stunned up though, Silence as well, called on, will land on Mantis, slow him down, kited around completely, Bignum, no more tether for a couple of seconds, now he's gonna have it now, Mantis, he's not gonna be able to escape, Reincarnation lost Bignum, he's gonna relocate back before Mantis recall, yep, Paristo, Soxka. He's gonna lose his life, maybe. Blink, dunk, easy kills, but it's a buyback on Axe, and they lost 3 anyway.
A buyback for only 1 kill so far, and it looks like it'll be only 1 kill right now. Unknown once again performing in those fights, and that really wasn't a fight that xGame could have taken. The amount of damage that they were taking from that Scarith Mage seal was just insane, and you know, as nice as it is to bring in a Wraith King with an IO, it's a Wraith King who doesn't have any damage. He has Power Threats and Hand of Midas. What is he going to do with that, except for occasionally hit someone? Like, luckily for him, the Gyrocopter was conveniently, like, right in front of his face so that he had a target to go on. But Mantis, he's holding on to a lot of gold, and when you bring in the Wraith King or when you bring in a hero, you need a little bit more impact than that, especially if you're going to be relocating in just one hero when the rest of your team is already dead. So xGame kind of taking a sketchy fight right there, and Unknown really showing off their Blink Dagger Sand King in a big way. So getting good initiation, and that's pretty much all you need in this game. If you out-initiate, you're probably going to have a better time. But xGame, they have the Blink Dagger on the Axe and the Magnus. We just haven't seen it be as effective as that of the on the Sand King.
Yeah, it's just the fact that Unknown, they have so much to partner up with any single blink or any kind of just stun. The follow-up is definitely there, and we have a Necro level 3 finished up, pre-16 minutes in for the Queen of Pain. That is huge. I mean, level 3 Necrobook, quite easy to drain the mana on Mantis, although he did go for Blade Mail, boosts up the mana pool a tiny bit. You can return quite a lot of damage from the just massive magic outcome from Unknown. But Magic Sticks, man, Mantis is gonna have to use them perfectly to be able to use the Reincarnation at all.
Yeah, not only that mana burn, it's just still a very high damage item. Like, those things do 100 damage pop. Mantis is going to get jumped over in the top lane. Lots of damage towards him. He will get relocated out just a short distance. Here we go. Jason's going to teleport in. He will RP cancel it, actually, as he loses the mana because of the Necro units. He's still looking for it. He won't find it, though. The Necro unit's still going to go to town on Arise, and now here comes Bambo. Chronosphere is going to do nothing because of that yank back Bignum, and Mantis is going to be A-okay from that. Necro unit's still alive. Mantis does not have a reincarnation right now, but Mind Control wants in. Scarith Mage in the meantime with Sand King gonna pick off the 2 softer heroes in the back end, as Bignum and Mantis still going to try to make their escape, but there are so many blinkers. Mind Control is going to jump right in, wants to go for Mantis, where Mad wants to go for Bignum. Sandstorm will get 1 kill, whereas Mantis is fighting up against literally all of basically Unknown, and he does not have a reincarnate. He's going to be taken down eventually. One more stun towards Queen of Pain won't do it, and that's going to be Unknown bringing in the heat, and man, their chasing power is just insane right now.
And that was with a completely useless Chronosphere also. Literally didn't get a single point of damage into anybody during the Chronosphere. But the fight was rather spread for xGame. First of all, Magnus coming in, not even being able to use the ultimate, the reverse polarity at all. It's just, like you said earlier as well, they have the Blink Daggers, yet really unable to put them into effect at all. Unknown, of course, they really aren't grouped up at any one time either. Really nicely spread by themselves, just... Even without the mech, even without the sustain that the IO does bring xGame, they're still just winning the fights, and suddenly Sexy Bambo did go for a Midas, a pretty damn late one, but I guess better late than never. He definitely does need the farm, because so far 4 deaths, only 1 assist. Last hits, I mean, 49 isn't just super bad, but Midas definitely nice to catch up.
Yeah, and it just seems like it doesn't even matter just because Queen of Pain Mind Control is just doing so very well. The Gyrocopter is also kind of, you know, getting kills, but at the same time he's not really huge in these fights just because he's mostly avoiding the fights, wants to get the farm. The other three heroes of Unknown, they're basically holding down the fort, so that really Faceless Void doesn't have to be doing a lot of things. They're going to smoke up and look for the top side. Mantis is going to get jumped. There is a relocate out, and Mantis should be fine. Bignum's going to channel that, and he will yank his ally back out, but not far enough, actually. Mantis will lose a reincarnation. RP onto 2. The follow-up, not quite there. Skewer back, not going to do it either. With the Burrow Strike plus Sonic Wave, they're all going to take a fall. Bignum has 2 more seconds before he gets yanked back into a more dangerous zone. Stallcat is going to try to kill off Bambo. Will get 1 kill, but the Necro Unit's going to grind him up. Where did the IO go? He's down to the low ground where fucking Mad's right on top of him. Sandstorm will get a 2nd kill. No, Magic Stick Charge will keep Bignum up for a little while longer. But Bignum with the Urn Charge, he will maybe just get away because fucking Mad doesn't want to really waste his time chasing him. But everyone else from xGame is going to take a spill. And Unknown, this time they have a couple of casualties, but still they walk away with a victory. Bignum's still being chased. He can actually turn this one around and kill fucking Mad. You don't want to die to an IO, man, but it just happened. Mind Control's going to clean up, get himself a beyond godlike streak. Fucking Mad going to give a dominating spree over the way of IO, but man, the Gyrocopter and Queen of Pain survive, and those are the heroes that xGame really have to worry about because those are the heroes that are providing the damage. Mind Control's level 3 Necrobook came up so quickly, and it's just doing so much work.
I mean, the reverse priority at least this time around did came out, and it was a pretty decent one, but xGame just didn't have the necessary follow-up. No Berserker's Call immediately to get it after that. And Axe, I'm not too sure what he got stunned by, but something stunned him the second he jumped in, so Berserker's Call was delayed just by like half a second, but that was enough for at least one hero to get out from there. Otherwise would have been a minimum 2-man Berserker's Call. So xGame, they just aren't ready for the initiations for the fights that Unknown bring to them somehow. At least the relocate was there, but also a little bit too short there, just didn't bring him back to safety. And well, Unknown, they're definitely gaining momentum. The one positive is that only 2 tier 1 towers so far have been destroyed, so Unknown, they're getting lots of kills. But at least the objectives for xGame are still standing.
The scary thing for xGame is that the Unknown side, this isn't really a team that will peak right now. They're going to be using this momentum to get into a really scary late game stage, and that's not often something that you see from this sort of draft. But man, come late game, Bambo with the Hand of Midas is going to be dishing. The Gyrocopter already has his BKB up, so he's ready to fight, but he could also go into that late game stage. In xGame, they pretty much have all their hopes in a Wraith King, and yeah, he did have a very fast Midas, but you can only do so much there. Bambo's going to get jumped with the relocate in down towards the bottom. Mystic Flare is there with an Epicenter from fucking Mad. Jason's going to look for that ultimate, but it won't connect onto anyone. Finally will catch onto Magomba. Here comes Mind Control. Sonic Wave being primed, will get Hex though, so he can't quite cast it. Reeves is going to get away maybe with that Hex, but blink forward. Fucking Mad, going to land a Burrow Strike onto 2 yet again. Reeves going to get ground down once again by Mind Control's Necro units with a Sonic Wave through to get a double kill onto that Wraith King. Mind Control is just on fire right now, and xGame, they just got completely wiped once again because of all this Blink Dagger shenaniganry coming out from just beautiful Sand King and Queen of Pain play.
Yeah, those 2 heroes, they've been pretty much setting up every single fight almost thus far. And although the Magnus escaped, a small consolation because they will lose their tier 2 suddenly. And tier 1 mid lane also was destroyed in the same time, just by the creeps themselves. Man, what can even xGame do now? Do you wait for like high ground? And I mean, high ground usually means that the heroes will be clumping up and then go or try to go for a team fight at least, but even that doesn't sound like the greatest of plans because Unknown will just outfarm you in that case.
Yeah, but do they have any alternatives? Like, they have an RP and they have an Axe. Like, these forms of initiation are things that can just bring you back from the brink. So it's not completely over for them, but Jason's actually going to get jumped. Sandstorm from the high ground, skewer back, only connecting onto the Sand King, where Stallcat going to lock down Mind Control off to the side. BKB Paris is here, though, going to grind down the Axe with the call down on everyone else. Reeves is going to take a fall shortly after. Bignum going to be chased down by the BKB Gyrocopter, will get shot down. Multi kill actually for Mind Control, going to clean up in the end. And xGame yet again just get completely smashed, and Unknown, like, Bambo was nowhere near that. Magoma was nowhere near that. That was just 3 heroes from Unknown doing work.
First of all, BKBs means on the xGame they don't really have too much power at all. I mean, Wraith King, if he was there, maybe so, but even with the Empower being there for him and having the crit, he's still not that threatening quite yet. So, I really don't know. They're gonna lose another tier 2 with the Necrobook being used. Man, life is hard if you're xGame. Looking at the graphs, 14,000 plus net worth lead already. XP nearing the 20k mark. Well, there is a BKB now on Wraith King, so there's something. But this Wraith King, or they still need that perfect team fight. Maybe even a couple of the perfect team fights.
It's like Mantis can't be targeted by magic, but you know what? Gyrocopter is still okay with that because he is dishing. And Faceless Void is going to grab that Mask of Madness, so just locking down the Wraith King is now a possibility. It just seems like xGame, they just had so many places to make things happen. They had so much time with those blink daggers, but at this point, it's just a little bit too late. Like, if you look at how the net worth is distributed, yeah, the Scarith Mage is on the bottom for Unknown, but the Faceless Void, who got completely smashed in the early game, got nothing, is now ahead of both your mid laner and your off lane / pseudo jungler.
Look at the
in
KDA and mind control.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even need to look at that. I know he has a lot of kills, dude. It's pretty much getting every single kill, and I mean, that's at a certain point going to be bad for Unknown, but he's still, like, going to be dishing. He could go for a battle build if he really wants to, like, grab a Maelstrom, grab a Desolator, grab an Eye of Scotty, anything, really. I mean, he has BKB and Necro booked, and he's level 17 right now. And take a look at the levels of xGame. Highest level is level 15 Wraith King. Everyone else is just going to be crushed by the Queen of Pain's first combo.
Yeah, it's just Wraith King only has the levels thanks to having that Hand of Midas for... I'm not even too sure how long. I'd say probably at least 16 minutes, if not more. So that's pretty much the only income for them in both farm as well as XP. If you look at Mantis, 11,000 net worth, not too bad, but the next highest in their team is 6,000.
And bottom lane, it looks like Unknown looking for a fight right now. There is a very awkwardly positioned Axe right now. He's been going on mind control over the past couple of fights. That might not be what he wants to do this time. Tower will be denied and destroyed up towards the top lane at the same time. Smoke is there, although that was the most obvious smoke I've ever seen in my life, as Queen of Pain was in creep range and they smoked. So the chances of xGame getting caught out by this are near zero. Although Bambo really wants to, it's not going to happen. It's still just a gold swing in favor of Unknown as they take away a tower from xGame plus claim one for themselves. Plus they're setting up for Mantis and Bignum. If they could kill off Bignum right now, catch him with a Chronosphere, there it is. Mantis walks into it as well. There's a Hex from the outskirts. Reeve's going to cover the IO for a little bit. Mind Control is going to jump right in. Sonic Wave will hit literally nobody. Epicenter will also hit nobody. But Mantis, he's all alone from the rest of his team right now. They will bring down the Reincarnation. Jason off to the side looking for that RP. Has an opportunity to catch only one, however. Catches Mind Control, and Mind Control is not even taking that much damage because Mantis just doesn't have it. Fucking Mad in the meantime, occupying 3 heroes now with the Burrow Strike. Just wasting the time of xGame, where it's Unknown's Mind Control. Just going to be cleaning up in the back end. Bignum and Mantis going to be in a little bit of trouble. Blink 4 for Mind Control, going to claim a double kill. Fucking Mad going to get in with another 2-man Burrow Strike. The Rocket Barrage is going to kill off Mantis, or at least we'll bring him down very low. Magoma, one more hit there. That'll do a triple kill for Mind Control. Now looking for Forest. Stallcat is hiding in his tier 4 towers. Queen of Pain going to take quite a bit of damage from these towers, trying to TP out. Battle Hunger won't quite do it. It's another set of kills for the Queen of Pain, and they're not done actually. Paris is still on the enemy side of the base, looking for Stallcat. Burst Strike in, fucking Mad one more time onto Reeves this time. Stallcat is awkwardly stuck in the corner. Call down will get the kill, and also it's going to connect onto the Mag. Fucking Mag going to collect a double, it seems. Yes, he will. The Lion's the only one here, and Paris is going to be more than happy to take that fight. Finger of Death not up for 102 seconds. Reeves, run to your fountain, run to it. He'll miss at the high ground. Paris, go up there and get the kill. There it is. It's a triple kill for Paris. He will give his life for it, but totally worth it, man. Totally worth it. Everyone at xGame, they're all dead.
I have to say I'm quite surprised that xGame are just calling GG at this point in time. I mean, it's not like the game is over for them because they haven't lost Rax yet. They're not even too close to losing Rax, but the way they're getting chased into their own base and they really have no way to respond at all. Queen of Pain though did almost go down, and Bignum now will lose his own life Mind Control. He comes around with the Necrobook, has a Shiva Scar complete, and I guess this is gonna be the Rax, and I'm really expecting xGame to call GG any moment now.
Yeah, Mind Control pretty much only taking serious damage there because she was sitting in the tier 4 towers, which do quite a bit of damage. Now that she has a Shiva's Guard, the Queen of Pain is going to take next to nothing from the towers, the Axe, and the Wraith King. Blink forward for a call onto Bambo. Finger of Death's still not there, but the Calling Blade should get it. No, he's going to get killed before that. Now to Reeves they go. It's another double kill for Mind Control. Mantis is now in the middle of the fight with that BKB up. Arise looking for something, but he can't actually find anyone. Mind Control off to the side, and yeah, guessing wrong. That Mag not going to connect onto that Skewer. Melee Rax down, range Rax survives, buyback from Bambo because he can. This is not looking good for xGame. They're just so vastly far behind at this point that, yeah, I would expect them to tap out soon. Once Unknown pretty much assemble the troops, they could grab Roshan, then go for a push anywhere.
Man, that was such a classic Bambo buyback, just because he can, like I said. But yeah, I definitely expect them to get Roshan, just go for the GG push like you mentioned. There's just no need to do anything else. Then again, they might go for the kill on mid lane. Mantis, it's gonna be a high priority kill. Does get the Reincarnation back off cooldown now. So just a little bit of a rest, baiting out the Blade Mail if nothing else. BKB was already on cooldown, so couldn't really bait that one out. Sexy Bambo does get stunned though. Are they really gonna go on him? Maybe so. The crits do quite a considerable amount of damage with the Empower being there for Mantis. Fucking mad though. That smoke, once again, probably pretty damn weird. Not too sure if they spotted it out though.
Well, Sanking disappeared for a little bit. They're going to drop a sentry, but Sanking's already long gone. Paris is going to spot Mantis in the mid lane. Mind Control is going to start the fight with those Necro units. Acting in time going to kill off the Scour's Mage, but Mantis has no mana right now, has no relocate either. That's going to be one down immediately as Stalkat's going to get caught in the Chronosphere off to the side. Sonic Wave through towards Bignum is going to probably get the kill for Bambo, closing in fast. Fucking Mad with another two-man Burrow Strike. Fucking Mad Sanking has been on point. Double kill for Mind Control so far. Bambo going to call off the RP, skewered into the Dire base. He's going to try to chase down Jason, and it looks like this should be a kill. Yes, it's a triple kill for Mind Control. 25, 0, and 8. Are you kidding me? Mind Control playing out of his mind. Control.
Man, that ending. But yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous having like 1 kill per minute only for yourself. And of course has been a part of 33 of that 42 kills. So this Queen of Pain, I have to say, probably the most active and the most successful Queen of Pain I've ever seen in my life. Just Mind Control, all in all, he's an outstanding mid lane player, to be honest, and basically unknown as a team. They have the teamwork, they're backing each other up, they're going for kind of controlled aggression. It's not gonna be like only one hero jumps in and the others are backing off or something like that. They're just all complementing each other, and the lineup, well drafted and well executed.
Yeah, you could see it over in the mid lane. Mind Control was off to the left side, Paris was off to the right side, and fucking Mad was still in lane, pretty far back, waiting for those Burrow Strikes. Like, really can't say how good that fucking Mad was playing in this game. His Burrow Strikes have pretty much on average hit like 2.5 players or something like that. He's been getting some insane value out of that stun. And when you have a Ravage on an 11-second cooldown, it sounds pretty good to me. So Unknown are going to be pretty happy with that. And they're just going to start the slow siege over in the mid lane, although a fight will break out, and I don't really know how slow the siege is going to be. Paris is also dishing, by the way. Like, he has a Demon Edge and a Sanjin Yasha and a BKB. This guy's absolutely loaded. They're going to jump in for Mantis. The Necro units are up. Mantis has enough mana to reincarnate, so he won't outright die right now, but his Raxes aren't going to be as lucky. Mantis going to still hold that BKB, but Paris is in the front with also his BKB. Mantis going to try to race the Gyrocopter with Stalkat's help. Maybe make it happen. Bambo going to get the Chronosphere just to kill off Mantis because he wants that kill. Face Void will grab that one. Now going towards Stalkat. They're probably going to get another nice RP with the dunks coming through. That's going to be 2 kills, but here comes the epicenter from fucking Mad. We'll clean up the rest of them. Bignum and Reeves, the only survivors, as Mind Control going to chase down both. That's going to be a complete team wipe for Unknown. Now the base for xGame is going to be destroyed. IO Lion can do nothing but watch.
So I'd say xGame, they did as well as can be expected out of them, considering they are like 30k behind in both XP and net worth. The Chronosphere, maybe not the greatest, but then again did lock down at least 2 of the xGame's heroes. Urspike by Lion did help out with the 2-man. And finally we did see a RP. They just needed that like, what, 15 minutes earlier already or something like that. So at least, I mean, for himself, for the next upcoming game, it's gonna be maybe a little boost in morale for Arise there, just finally landing one.
Yeah, it's like, hey guys, I can play a Magnus, you know, and it was your guys' fault that I didn't land those RPs, but you know, something along those lines maybe. There's a Heart now on Queen of Pain. She's extremely tanky. In fact, is she the tankiest hero in the game right now? I'm pretty sure she
Probably
is.
by far.
Yeah. So
I mean,
she's probably doing the most damage and is the tankiest hero. What do you do about that? I have no idea.
It's just, she has magic immunity. She has a crap ton of armor thanks to the Shiva's card. And a crap ton of HP as well. Even fucking Mad now will pick up a BKB. Just, I don't know, xGame, of course, it's a pretty important game, so if you can, however, help it, you definitely want to drag it out. Maybe in hopes that you will win even game number 1. Hoping for Unknown to make some mistakes, which, to be honest, being this far ahead, teams are prone to make mistakes, just thinking that they're, well, probably not more ahead than they are, but just going like 1v3 or like 3v5, something like that. Although 3v5 so far for Unknown in this game have even worked out, so who knows.
Yeah, it's probably like 2v5 and xGame are going to be happy to take those odds, but you can see over in the bottom lane, there's no chance that Unknown are going to split out that much and, you know, get picked off. Fucking Mad has a secret mission, and well, he'll get into a perfect epicenter position right now. The rest of the team is also pretty decently positioned to push this lane, and well, being 2 Raxes up already, it's going to be really difficult for them to make that throw, but It's never too late to 322, guys, and we'll see if xGame, they're holding on to some sort of hope. Bucky Mad's gonna get caught off to the side, though. Stallcat doing quite a bit of damage. Bucky Mad, Bambo, and Mind Control gonna get caught with the... Oh, no, Kronos here, Bambo. Gonna catch the Queen of Pain friend. No damage from the Mind Control. Epicenter coming in, though, connecting onto everyone. Bucky Mad's gonna get a 4-man Epicenter. Not kill off many of those heroes, but that's gonna buy so much space for the rest of the team. The Reincarnation's already up. Mantis now gonna fight man fight up against Paris. Not going to win that one, as Bucky Mad's gonna collect a double kill off that. Magoma gonna get stunned up by Mantis. Sonic waving through. Gonna connect onto everyone. RP is only onto fucking Mad right now. He will die, but Paris is still alive. Bambo and Mind Control are also still alive. It's yet another team wipe. My god, this Sand King play is just impeccable.
Yeah, fucking Mad. With this play, probably won the fight and secured them the game as well. It just, although he didn't kill off anybody himself, he made it so that the Wraith King was completely solo there, and even with such a fight, even with such an Epicenter xGame, they did manage to do quite a lot of damage into basically unknown, but the plays, just the like single plays, single level play, I don't even know, I'm speechless, man. Mind Control and fucking Mad both, just absolute monsters.
26, 0, and 14. You need a stronger laner than Mag to go up against the Queen of Pain, I suppose.
Yeah, it's probably true. I mean, they had a lockdown in theory to deal with the Queen of Pain. I just don't know how it didn't work out at all. But guys, this is a best of 3 series after all, and xGame, they definitely know how much is on the line. So I'm afraid we might be looking at the Inaga Siren next game unless Unknown just preemptively ban it out. Hopefully it's not going to be the case at all, but looks like the betting site, or at least one of the betting sites, was correct in the first predictions, but we'll see if it's going to be the same for the second game. And guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed the game as well as the casting, and if you did, be sure to follow us on HeflaTV for more. It is HeflaTV on both Facebook and Twitter. Links also below the stream, of course. For the casters, at Coucher for me, at Mike Loris for my co-caster, and well, see you guys for game number 2 in just a couple of minutes.